Hi there, Z here, and I know this really isn't something that I do. You know, the low quality videos with little editing are usually commentaries that I just talk about something for 20 minutes and put it up on YouTube and just collect the negative responses. But I need to talk about this movie because, whoo! Okay, so I just watched Netflix, the property of Netflix original film Polar, and my God, it was bad. Now, I was really into the trailer of this movie because it looked a lot like it was going to be full of bullets, blood, and boobs, right? And while there were some parts that were exactly that, lots of the other parts were just ball-busting boredom and incoherency, and it just annoyed me so much that I needed to make this quick review so no one else would waste 2 hours of their fucking life with this movie. So, if you are expecting a sort of grindhouse, gruesome, balls-to-the-wall action, a lot like, I don't know, Brawl in Cell Block 99, by the way, if you want a gruesome, balls-to-the-wall, grindhousey piece of shit movie, I love it. I love that movie. Just check it out if you can. Then you will be shit out of luck, because even though the beginning starts with drugs, sex, and the assassination of Johnny Knoxville, it really doesn't go too much farther than that. Because this group of hitmen that did kill Johnny Knoxville were so fucking cringy and boring it hurt my soul. Like, I'm sure they were looking for a, look how quirky and colorful this cast of hitmen are, and look, they all do something different. The girl seduces the target, this guy's a sniper and attacks target, this girl's handy with guns, and this guy is he's a ginger. Like, that's all I got from him. This guy didn't even deserve to be in the movie because he does zero throughout the entire movie. This entire group of hitmen did not. And by the way, can I say something off the top of my head? I think I can. It's my video. Why would you need multiple different people for one dude? You have a sniper guy, and this guy's getting blown by a girl. Easy shot, headshot, or just shoot him multiple times. You have a fucking sniper. This could have been a two-man mission, but apparently you wanted to just kind of go full-blown, so whatever. Fuck it. I don't care. Fly away in your helicopter and sing fucking cringy songs. I don't give a shit. Okay, all right. So they all have something to them, right? I mean, they'll have pros and cons that they're trying to push through, but they don't flush them out at all. These guys come back every so often, kill some random person, and then that's it. You don't really know much about them. This could have been great. It could have been fucking fantastic. But guess what? They're just hitmen and hitwomen doing just fucking hitman and hitwomen jobs. And that's all they are. They're just awful. I've seen better group chemistry in Suicide Squad, okay? That's saying something. Anyway, this is Duncan. He's our hero of the film and is also a hitman, but is forced to retire from a hitman company? Do hitmen have companies? Has the dark web been lying to me this entire time? It's not just some fat neckbeard in the basement taking $5,000 to try and kill a man or something like that? No, okay, fine, whatever, we'll take this. But he has to do it because they pretty much have to leave the company when they reach 50 because they don't want any old hitmen that might sacrifice a mission or whatever it is. So they basically give these retired people a shit ton of money and tell them to fuck off. But they have a little bit of a backhand to them because they actually murder them before their retirement, so the company absorbs all the funds that they made throughout the year. I mean, it sounds about right for a shady business dealing in human suffering, am I right? Anyway, this pudgy, high-heel-wearing CEO of this company is called Mr. Blood, and he wants Duncan dead now because he's getting close to retirement. But there's a girl that's like, oh no, not Duncan. He's the Black Kaiser, the best assassin ever, and we shouldn't kill him because he's so good, and he'll just get us back 10 times worse. Let's not do it. Let's never do it. Just leave him alone. You know, that whole chestnut where this guy's the best of the best, even though he's fucking 50 years old? Yeah, sure, yeah, of course, definitely. But before the inevitable killing of everybody and everything besides our main protagonist, the whole movie is a slog. It's awful. You know, he drinks, he sulks, he has a flashback, he shoots his dog by accident, which I shouldn't laugh because I love dogs, but fuck, it was pretty funny. It was pretty funny when I saw it. So he gets a fish instead, you know, because you can't fuck up with a fish besides overfeeding the bitches. He meets his neighbor, and the entire time you're just wondering, when is the killing going to happen? I've seen you kill like one drug lord and that's it in almost an hour. What's happening? I want death. That's what I want. That's all I ever really came here to see. But prepare to wait a fucking hour for anything worth watching, because between the beginning of the film and a particular scene I'll go more into because I actually enjoyed that scene, it's nothing. And look, maybe it's my fault because I was going into this expecting a movie like Shoot 'em Up or Brawl at Cell Block 99, and maybe it's not my fault. I'm doubling back on that. No, it's not my fault because they did have things like sex scenes and nudity and a little bit of violence, but it wasn't enough to carry my interest. It was like, oh look, penetration, cool. Oh look, titties, cool. Oh look, some minor violence, cool. And between every single one of those cool parts, it was 10 minutes of just just throw filler in there. We have no fucking idea what we're doing with this. We tried to put out the movie, but it was only 35 minutes long. Just put out just shit. Just have the main character looking sad. Whatever, I don't know. And yeah, I understand that movies need to set up characters and plot and shit like that. I get it. But filmmakers at least put interesting things in between there to keep you interested. Like interesting dialogue or characters or plot twists or anything else like that. But all we got is a sad drunk, a pudgy marching band looking villain, a woman worried about the main character, and a team of boring ass assassins going around and trying to find said sad drunk. Does this sound interesting to anybody? Show of hands. Give me your hands. And the editing, holy fuck, the editing. It was like a schizophrenic was trying to make sense of this entire movie. Just multiple jump cuts in a row.
Looks like we're on the move.
Go. We have a long drive ahead of us.
Fairly bland, just shot after shot after shot. Nothing really interesting. There was some cool parts, but mostly very, very dull. And scenes that they felt like they were taking out of the entire fucking movie without us even knowing. Like, here's one example. I'm just gonna give you one because there's plenty of these in the movie and I don't want to fucking harp on this because it would be, the short review is going to be much longer if I do that. But here's a scene where he's talking to the neighbor and him and her are talking and she's like, oh, so you've been around the world so much, why don't you talk to the kids at the local school? They'll want to hear that. And he's like, I don't want to. And she's like, why? And he's like, I don't know how to talk to kids. And she's like, oh, okay. Literally 5 fucking minutes later, okay kids, here's a knife and pictures of dead guys. Am I not the coolest? Like, what the fuck just happened? Did you guys cut out a scene where she pleads with him to do it because it would be a nice thing to do? Or maybe like, he's like, I don't like little kids. And then a little kid comes up to him asking him for a quarter for a gumball from the gumball machine. And he gives him one and he smiles at him and he tussles his hair and he looks back at her and he's like, okay, I guess I'll do it. Fucking nothing! There was nothing. It goes from, I don't like kids, to entertaining an entire class of kids. And there's multiple times, like I said, that this happened, but we're just going to keep moving on. Now, here's the scene where things turned around at least a little bit. My nuts were being flicked over and over and over and over again throughout this entire thing. But this was the scene that I was like, okay, this wasn't a complete waste of my time. Fantastic. Now, I can't show the scene because that I enjoyed so much because there's a lot of sex, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of gore, and there's a naked man walking around in the snow. So I'll just explain it while I just have random clips playing in the background. But the assassins surround his cabin out in the middle of this forested area, and he's banging the slutty member of this group, and a blizzard's going around, and the sniper lines up his shot, and for some fucking reason, he knew the sniper was trying to shoot at him before the sniper shot. There was nothing showing that, oh god, there's a laser pointer, I gotta get down because there's a sniper in the trees or something like that. Fucking nothing. He's getting blown by the chick and he's like, fuck! And then he just all of a sudden turns down, throws the girl up, and she gets shot instead. It's like, sure, we'll take that. He's a cool action hero. Fine, I'll take that, whatever. But he knows that the sniper's out there somewhere, and he's fucking, he has no idea where he is. He should know where he is, at least. But of course, this guy's a master assassin. So he knew exactly the trajectory of the gun going and everything. And out in this fucking blizzard, just sub-zero blizzard, he walks out butt naked. Nothing but his saggy grapefruits and a sleeping snake in his midst, and he fucking kills every single one of them. It was fantastic. It was so awesome to see an old man violently kill every single assassin while he was naked. It was amazing. I loved it. I sound a little bit gay about that, but I had a fun time there. But man, an entire hour of just nothing super interesting or fantastic for 5 minutes of bliss, boy, that's hard to ask anyone for. Let's be completely fair with each other, guys. Anywho, master villain Piggy kidnaps his neighbor because he's mad at him, and he's like, I'm gonna have my way with him. And then he captures him and he tortures him for like 4 days before obviously he's gonna break out. And he gets his revenge and he decapitates Piggy Man and saves her. The end. I'm not gonna put any more time to this than the writers did. No, I'm not. Now, I'm not asking for a fantastic story here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, for my grindhouse / exploitative type of movies, I would like the least amount of plot. You know, the less coherent, the better, in my opinion. But it seems like they wanted to give this a legit plot with legit character developments and a tender story near the end. And all I was thinking is, get fucking blood on the screen or show me the fucking credits. That's all I'm asking for. Not to lie, some of the actors did a fine job, especially Mads Mikkelsen, I think is what his last name is. I can't quite remember. And Matt Lucas, a.k.a. Duncan and Mr. Blutt, they were fine. Duncan was pretty badass for most of the part, and Mr. Blutt was just a disgusting man, and I'm sure that's what they were trying to do. Boy, he was just a gross-looking man. I looked at Mr. Lucas, and he does not look as bad as he does in this film. So I'm positive they tried to make him look as fat and disgusting as possible. They did a fantastic job, and you could tell he was hamming it up. He was having a good time. It was great. I liked it. But the other actors were from a scale of mediocre to, why the fuck are you even in this film? We could have had a better time and it would have been less crowded if you weren't in there. I'm looking at you, you ginger fuck. You barely talk and you had no reason to be in the group. You were just a redheaded guy just being there being a redheaded guy. I don't fucking get it. You didn't even get a cool way Duncan killed you at all. He just slaughtered you with like a bunch of fucking guns controlled by an electric glove, and I mean, that's pretty cool now that you're thinking about it, but just being mowed down by a bunch of guns is not fun at all. It sucks. Anywho, that's it. This movie just came out today, and I needed to put something out in case some of you are out there saying, hey, honey, what should we do today? Oh, look, Polar. Oh, this looks like a good action movie. Maybe it can make you a little bit moist so I don't have to do it later on tonight. Let's actually just watch this movie, because she will be dry as a fucking desert. Oh, there's about 4 or 5 scenes that I enjoyed in this entire 2-hour movie, and the rest was just a boring waste of my time with characters I did not care about here. So my final score is 2 accidental naps while watching this video out of 10. Cheers, everyone. Don't watch this fucking movie.